Yo, what's up everybody? How you doing? This is your Coach Renz, and today we're going to have a little discussion that was sparked by a conversation that I was having recently with a young lady. In that conversation, she was going through a massive breakup. Well, she's overcoming a massive breakup. So let me go ahead and break down the story of her breakup for you so that we'll all have an equal footing on this understanding. And then we'll go from there to an understanding of why you shouldn't give two rat's asses about what people think about you, what they say about you. If you're a YouTuber or a Facebook person, that you shouldn't care what trollers do. You should just allow the trollers to be trolls and let them go back under their bridge and not even worry about them because they have no place within you that decides who you really are. And this is also going to answer the question that one person asked me: how do I am affirmations work with negating so that I can know who I am? All of that and more in this video. So let's get started. Like I said, I'm Coach Renz, and I appreciate everybody for being here. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. That's here at the bottom, on the bottom of your YouTube channel, but also the one that's going to come across the screen towards the end of this video. And if you make it to the end, let me know you made it to the end. And on my Patreon, I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys greatly, greatly. So if you want to support the channel, go over to Patreon. So I also want to say that this video is going to be sponsored by The Love of People. It's all natural black hair care products. The Love of People. Go check them out. Order your products from them. You know, it's great products that's offer natural hair care. So I look forward to you guys. I look forward to hearing their response to how many of you guys went to the website and you made a purchase. So let's do that. Let's do that. Let's build that. So let's go. So having a conversation with this young lady recently. She's expressing she had been on her first date in a long time. After a breakup, she was going on her first date. She enjoyed the date. She had a really, really good time. Her best friend, she called all her best friend, her girl crew, had to let them know that how the date went, because basically if you can't get down with her girl crew, you can't be down with her. And this is not an uncommon thing. So she was expressing how she's going on this date after a breakup. And the breakup occurred because the two people just started growing in different directions. So, I mean, as she explained it to me, he became someone that she just was not interested in anymore. He changed how he responded to her, reacted to her, how he treated her. So the breakup occurred. But in the midst of the breakup, because she was so in love with him, in the midst of the breakup, all her girlfriends, they got male friends. They were out with their significant others. One of her male friends was in town. Not someone who lives here, in town. She calls them up. They come and sit down in the lobby of their building. Not in her apartment, where if you was trying to be private, you would be, but in the lobby of her building. Her ex just happens to live near. He's walking his dog. As he's walking his dog, you know, allowing his dog to do what it do, he happens to look through the window of the building and sees that she's sitting there having a conversation with another gentleman. His heart tightens up. His throat tightens. He doesn't know what to do with himself. He's beside himself. So he then decides that, well, since she's moved on, since she's over me, then what I'm going to do, I'm going to call one of her best friends. So he calls one of her best friends. He says, you know what? I feel like in the times that we've been around each other, that there was a huge amount of chemistry, a connection that we had with one another. And I was just wondering if we can explore that. I want to explore that with you and see what we can develop from that. Sucker move, right? I know all y'all right now just thinking like, that was stupid. And it was. So, of course, the best friend, being a best friend, not a skank, decides that she's going to call her friend and say, let me tell you what he did, girl. He called me and said, let's get together. I can't believe that. At that moment, that's when she completely made up her mind that the relationship was over, that it was done. Because how dare he, knowing how close they were as friends, how close her girl crew was, he calls her? I know, he was trying to hurt her. I know, guys. But he calls her best friend. So she was angry, she was frustrated. And that pushed her to that point where she made the decision that she was no longer going to allow herself to feel those emotional ties to him. So she began her true process of breaking up and breaking the emotional ties. But in doing so, there's this thing lingering out there. This thing that the ex-boyfriend thinks that she was stepping out and moved on, that she wasn't interested in trying to work on the relationship anymore. Now, since that time frame, he's tried to come back and ask her, can we work on the relationship? Once she blasted him out about how dare you try to talk to my best friend, now he wants to work on the relationship, but she's not interested. But there's this thing that he thinks that she had already moved on. So she wants to call him. She wants to contact him. She wants to preface the conversation by saying that, hey, I have no interest in us getting back together, but I just want you to know that that was a friend of mine. Now, I know some of you are saying right now, well, she still has emotional ties to him, and that's why she wants to justify that. That is one thing that I did express to her. You still have those emotional feelings. It's going to take time and a lot of decisions and a lot of actions in order for you to truly fall out of love with him. You may have made a decision today, but it's going to take you dating other people. It's going to take you seeing other things, experiencing other things, having fun in a different arena. It's going to take you being away from him in order for you to truly live out the I am no longer in love with that person again. It's going to take time. You make the decision here, but you may not truly be there until there. But the other thing that you would be making the mistake of, in which many of you do make this mistake, because you feel like your reputation has been sullied with this one person, that you have to now conversate with them. You have to make them aware of what is really going on. It's kind of like when I get these trolls on many of my videos, especially the ones that are spiritually based. They spout out their scriptures. They run their false history, or whatever you want to call it, their made-up history, their organized history, their created history, their colorized history, whatever you want to say. They create my experience is what lets me know that there is this God or that God. But the same thing a Buddhist can say, the Hindu can say, as well as the Muslim and the Christian and the Jew can say. So they like to run up these flagpoles and say that. And my favorite is that my people will be destroyed for their lack of knowledge, and yet you have no idea of the history of your book or the cultural references that it's making. So we have this thing where we feel like we have to make sure that other people understand us, know us, and is okay with us. But the moment you do that, you give them power. You see, the trolls may come and talk, and I may give them a little bit, but after a certain period, I end it. I stop. I don't talk to them anymore. I don't refer to them. I don't reference them. I don't talk to them. I don't deal with them. I move on. I'm not going through my day thinking about them. But see, this young lady is going through her day. She's on a date thinking about the fact of how this other guy thinks about her, what he thinks. And I understand she was in love with him and she cares about what he thinks, but she is working her way out of it. So you cannot contact him, is what I told her. You have to let him be. You have to recognize that he, even if y'all got back together, even if you expressed that that was just a friend from out of town, even if he met the guy, even if he befriended the guy, he will always hold that against you in some form or fashion. Those who have already made up their mind about you will always hold that in some form or fashion unless they come to a true revelation of maturity within themselves, which shows you that it is not a problem with you, it is a deficiency within themselves. You see, when the trollers come, I recognize that they have a deficiency within themselves. They have a distortion within themselves. It is their issue, not mine, which is why you don't see me going onto other people's videos trolling, expressing my opinion that may be opposed to theirs. The only time I've ever done that is when they specifically speak about me on one of their videos, to which even now, I don't even pay attention to that. Why? Because it serves me no purpose. It does nothing for me. And if you go and you do that, you're giving them your power. So when this young lady, if she decided that she wanted to go and she wanted to deal with this guy just to express to make sure he understands where she's coming from, she's giving him power over her because she needs him to understand. She has to release that need for someone else to understand you. I've told you guys many times before, I could be the only person standing on a mountaintop screaming out my truth and everybody in the world could disagree with me. It doesn't matter. It's my truth. If you don't like alchemy, that's on you. If you don't like ancestral edification, that's on you. If you don't like the magic, that's on you. If you don't like voodoo, that's on you. If you don't like Solomon's magic, that's on you. If you don't like the Hermetics, that's on you. If you don't like the Emerald Tablets, that's on you. If you don't want to study all the different religions and see the connected parts of it and just pull the wisdom out and release all the man-made crap, that's on you. If you disagree with my methodology, I can't help you. That's on you. But when it causes you to become emotional, like for instance, in my last video, a gentleman did not have any intellectual response to my video. So instead he resorted to name calling me the N-word, expressing that I'm going to die, an emotional thing, which we know that when you're debating, you've won when the person has nothing intellectual towards your facts, but everything becomes emotional. You've won. They've lost. They may get loud. They may scream. They may puff their chests up. But they've lost because they've allowed their emotions to dictate their thought process instead of having a balance of your thoughts and your emotions. So, this situation with this young lady reminded me of so many things. It has my brain running in so many different ways, thought processes. One of those is not to give people control over who you are. Another is that when you make a decision, you have to take actions towards you manifesting that decision. That you can't put out your prayers, you cannot put out your incantations, you can't put out your offerings, your whatever you do, your meditations. You can't put those things out and not follow them up with actions that will manifest what it is that you desire to have in your life, whether it's a physical thing or an emotional thing or a spiritual thing. Whatever it is, you have to take the action. My people will suffer and die for their lack of intelligence. You will also suffer and die for your belief in faith without works, your belief in hope without action. When there is no action, you're going to get the same thing. Now, let's turn the page a little bit. Some good herbal tea, guys, from Mystic Mama. This gentleman went after the ex-girlfriend's best friend. He merely just wanted to hurt her. It is not that he has some type of interest towards the ex-girlfriend in truth, the friend in truth. It is the mere fact that he wanted to hurt her. Why would a man who is no longer engaged with you want to hurt you? Want to use things, would be willing to put himself out there to a best friend to hurt you? This shows the immaturity of the man. He's in his 40s, but yet he still has that level of immaturity. But why? What's the deeper aspect of this? One of the biggest problems within the male community is that we're never taught, well, let me not say never, from around age 12 on up, we begin to be taught that a man is supposed to hold those feelings in, keep them choked down, that we're supposed to go out and conquer. And the way that we express ourselves is through conquering. That if any man is sentimental enough or emotional enough or connected to his feminine energy enough to be able to express his true feelings, then he is not an alpha. He is not a true man. But in essence, a real alpha, a real true man is able to express his emotions. He's able to express his thoughts in such a way that he uses a buzzword here, caution. You see, if it was me in that situation, if I had broken up with someone or they had broken up with me, but I'm still feeling the emotional distress and pain of it, and I'm walking by and I see that she's engaged in a conversation, not in her apartment, not in a secluded place, but out in the open in the public. Matter of fact, if you think about it, a woman who has a man come over but does not allow him upstairs but continues the conversation in the open area of a lounge area, she's not moving on. She's cautious. She's just having a conversation. It could be a suitor, but he's not allowed into her inner sanctum yet. And if he's not allowed into her inner sanctum of her apartment, then he certainly probably has not been allowed to the inner sanctum. So as a mature male, even though I may have seen it, even though my heart may have tightened first and my throat tightened, the maturity of me would say, the next day, I was walking Fido or Butch or whatever your dog's name is. I was walking, I'm walking my dog. I'm walking Mansa Musa. And I wasn't looking for it, but I happened to walk past your building. You know, that's my walk. I saw you in the lobby talking to a guy that I was unfamiliar with. And since how we've been together for a long time, that unfamiliarity, it caused me to stress and tighten a little bit. But out of respect for you and respect for what we were, you don't have to answer. But do you mind telling me who that was? Were you on a date? I would give her I would ask the question. Before I go off into my own mind and create my own universe of what's going on, you've moved on, you don't care, you don't love me anymore, you're with someone else, you already started dating and I'm not dating yet, which is also a level of immaturity, as if another person must wait for you to move on before they move on. A person moves on at whatever speed or rate that they choose and they decide, and whatever comfortability they have, I don't know if that's a real word, but whatever level of comfort they have, they move on. Who are you to determine when a person is ready to move on? But see, the immaturity of this man caused him to go into a reckless action instead of a cautious action, which is something that we all must learn in every aspect of our life, that we must plan, we must ask questions, we must be cautious in everything that we do. That caution is one of the biggest tools, biggest keys in becoming successful in any aspect of your life. When you're in a relationship, if you're feeling something emotional towards about a situation, before you go half-cocked and start yelling and arguing or making accusations, ask questions first. Who is that person? You didn't answer your phone. Why didn't you answer your phone? Your phone was on silent. Why is your phone on silent? One that I hate, I lay my phone face down all the time. Why do I do that? I do that because when I first started having a cell phone, a smartphone, I was in an environment where things fell. And many things fell on my phone and would break it. I used to own a gym, so dumbbells would fall on my phone and crack it. All kind of things like that, fall on my phone and crack it. So I got into a habit of laying it face down. But in today's world, women think that if you're laying your phone face down, then you're trying to hide something. Instead of thinking I'm trying to hide something, ask me, why do I lay my phone down, face down? Because I don't have any password protections on my phone. Slide your finger across and it opens up. I have nothing to hide, right? So ask the questions first. Be cautious. If you have a question, ask it. And be ready for the answers to be something you like or something you don't like. If you're starting a business, you have questions, you need to ask them. If you want to fix your credit, you got questions, you need to ask them. If you are trying to change your diet, you have questions, you need to ask them. Whatever you are doing in life, you have questions, ask the questions. Get a sufficient answer before you start taking steps, before you start taking action. Ask the questions first. Show maturity of an alpha male or alpha female. This gentleman did not. And all it did was destroy any smithering piece, ember of an opportunity for them to be together ever again. So it's lost, it's gone. He should just move on now. Unfortunately, he's going to hurt the next woman. He's going to carry the pain from her over to the next woman and hold her accountable for what this woman did, to which she did nothing. So we must remember that people are carrying baggage because they haven't resolved the questions that they had within themselves from their previous relationships. And this leads me to the last part. A gentleman asked me, how do we deal with negating how do we deal with positive affirmation? How did that work with negating first? Because I did a video. At the end of this video, I'll find that one and post it up here. So you can click on that link at the end of this video. We negate. I talked about how in order to truly discover self, you have to negate everything about you first. You have to get rid of all the things that you're not. You have to understand all the things that you're not. You have to get rid of all the labels, get rid of everything that you're not, so that you can get yourself bare bone to the core of who you are. See, these are steps. It's not that positive affirmations don't work, or nor are they for you, but too many people run around saying what they are in positive affirmations before they negate and get rid of all the things that they're not, before they realize all the things they're not, so that they can then live those positive affirmations. Because some of your positive affirmations are being destroyed by the things that you don't negate from yourself. All right? So positive affirmation is great, but in stage, at the right time. You know, first I must realize that if I have a negative connotation towards money, I have to get rid of that negative connotation towards money before I can start saying that I am prosperous, I am wealthy, I am rich. If I can't sit up there and say I am healthy, I am healthy, I am healthy, while at the same time I am eating horrible food, I'm eating corrosive food, I'm doing all these things that are negative towards what I am saying that I am, my positive affirmations. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way, right? So we have to continue to recognize who we are to the core. Get to our core self. Get to who you really are. You know, this gentleman, he don't know who he really is. He's still carrying baggage. The young lady, she didn't understand why she has this desire to call him and explain what's going on beyond the fact that she still has emotional connection to him. What is the other thing? The other thing is that she cares about what people think about her, to the point where even someone who is not going to be a part of her life anymore, who are not going to have any effect in her life, she cares about what he thinks. You guys are on, you've moved on from job to job, and you still care about what people think about you at the other job. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't care about what no one thinks about you. If someone is important to you in your life, you should care about what they think. But what they think should never, ever supersede what you think about yourself. You should always know who you are and uphold who you are, be who you are. If you desire to make a change as to who you are, that change should be because you decided so. No one else, just you. So I'm gonna end this video right here, 20 plus minutes. I appreciate you guys for being here. Like I said, I'll throw up some links in this video for you to subscribe. Subscribe right here, and then you can click on one of these other videos so that you can understand and get a deeper understanding of who I am. Oh yeah, and that's one other thing. For all these people who think that they watch one video of me and you know who I am and you make claims, oh my gosh, please go look at some other videos because y'all killing me. You're so killing me. Anyway, y'all have a great day. Remember, you got to free yourself to be yourself because your greatness is non-negotiable. And please go to the website, coachrenz.com, the store, and sign up for the tour, the Alchemy Tour of Life. Sign up for the Alchemy Tour of Life. It's coming to a city near you.